Hey there, ladies, gents, and everybody in between. This is your pal Wolfie. It's been a while, but I'm here with a review for The Last of Us, the TV show. So, little background. Anyone who knows me, if you follow me on Twitter or not, I'm not sure, but I have been a Last of Us fan since the very first game. And I mean, like, played it at midnight, beat it in one sitting that night. Like, yeah. And I have beaten the game many times since. Um, but anybody who really knows that I am not a fan of Joel. Never have been. And as much as I love Pedro Pascal, I'm gonna have to like push myself through it because I'm probably still it's not gonna change that. Um, but that aside, I was always excited for this show simply for Ellie, Tess, Marlene, Riley. And whenever it happens, Abby. So, this and henceforth, hell yeah. Last was Part 2 being my favorite game of all freaking time. That's the season I can't wait for the most. But, putting that on the side, just looking at it from season 1, game 1, they did an excellent job with this episode. So, they made a couple of subtle changes that I actually really liked they did. So we spent more time with Sarah, played by Nico Parker. I think her last name is Parker. Yeah. So she did an excellent job as Sarah. Of course, if you've played the games, you know that Sarah dies within the first couple of minutes of playing the game. I like that they made it so that we spent more time with her and that we kind of got to know her a little bit more, a lot more than we did in the video game. And we got to see the sequence of, the day that the outbreak happened. It was Joel's birthday, blah, blah, blah. And we got to see her interacting with Tommy and Joel, and you get to see her buy the watch that we know about. And I really enjoyed all of that. It was nice to get a little bit more context with her, especially knowing what happens. So this is full spoilers. I'm not like, because if you haven't watched it, if you haven't played the games, I can't help you there. But yeah, the death sequence with Sarah, they did a very, very good job. I personally was never hit by it. Not in the video game, and I still wasn't hit by it now. But what I mean is they did it, like the way they shot it was really good. I can see a lot of people getting emotional reactions from it, where I don't. But I I already know a couple of people who are gonna be like, oh my god, over that scene, and I'm like, yeah, it was a good scene. But moving on from that, once we fast forward 20 years or whatever, and seeing how the world looks from that point, it was crazy to see that scene with the kid when you get to see like it kind of like puts it into perspective, like this is what the world is now. And I like that they did that, and I like that they chose a kid to do that with. So he looked like he was like no more than like maybe 12, 11, 12. And like at first I thought he was like one of the runners or something like that. Since he didn't have the cordyceps on him, I figured he was maybe like a little runner or something like that. Um, but he ended up just being a kid that was sick and getting sicker, and he was looking for refuge. And the way they played it, where like the soldier was trying to like let him know that you're gonna be fine, blah blah blah, knowing full well that the needle that they gave him was gonna kill him. I'm like, oh shit. This shit is gonna be crazy. And it was from then on. Like speaking on the changes that they made, like that which I actually forgot to mention, was the scene where Sarah gets hurt, where they switched it from being like that they got into the car accident because another car crashed into them. I like that they did a fake out with it. Like they made it look like that was gonna happen, and that's not how it happens in the show. In the show, a fucking plane comes down, and that's how that shit happens. I like that so much better. To me, I feel like that was like way more unexpected, way crazier. And my cat has the zoomies. And I thought it was like a very unique way to do it, because I mean, in my head, honestly, whenever I was playing the game, I was wondering, you know, what about people in planes? Like, were they safe from the outbreak? Like, are those among the people who survived into like the future after that shit? Nope. That was a big fat nope, and I like that they did that. So moving on from there, I really like that we got to have so much more time with Tess in this. So Tess is one of my favorite fucking characters. She, like, I have been advocating for years, give Tess her own goddamn video game. She deserves it. It's what she needs. I want her to have her own fucking video game. If not her own video game, then at least DLC. I have been hoping for Tess DLC for forever, and I need it. I need it. So I guess this is the way that I'm gonna get it fulfilled, is getting Tess DLC via the fucking show, which I guess that's fine. But Anna Torv killed it. I like when she was cast from it, I'm like, she's gonna kill it. She's gonna fucking kill it, because this woman, she was fantastic in everything that she's in. And she was especially really good in Mindhunter. Damn, she was good in Mindhunter. So I knew that she was gonna kill it as Tess, and she did. She did an excellent job. Seeing, like, so we open up seeing Tess, like in the game, we open up to her coming back to the house after getting into a scuffle with what is his name? I always forget his name. Homeboy and his people. Like, her coming back from that scuffle. Like, that was one. But yeah, her getting in between it with the dude and his men, like, that shit was funny. But yeah, like, like I said, in the game, we saw her coming back after the altercation. In this, we get to see her, like, kind of in the middle of that altercation, and I like that. I like that we got to see what kind of went down, or at least a frame of what kind of went down. And like, to see, yo, she was badass as hell. Like, my girl was tied up to a damn chair and more or less telling them where they could stick it, and I love it. She's like trying to cut a deal, knowing full well she gonna be coming back to fuck all of them up, and I love it. I love it. I love it. But yeah, no, she did an excellent fucking job. Nico did an excellent fucking job. Pedro did an excellent fucking job. And then there's my girl Bella. Bella did a fan-fucking-tastic job as Ellie. So I know the poor thing had to deal with all these dumbasses getting upset about her getting cast as Ellie. Like, to y'all is what I say. She did it. I knew she was gonna fucking kill it, and she fucking killed it. She's awesome as Ellie. The fact that the way we meet Ellie is not the same way that we meet her in the game, which I also really liked. We get to meet her, and she's locked up with the Fireflies, and she's not really an ally of the Fireflies. I'm guessing, like, this is taking place, like, it's supposed to take place, like, that little piece between where Left Behind and The Last of Us kind of in the video games. So, like, after everything that happened with her and Riley, and her getting bit and getting caught up with Marlene and her people. So that's what I'm guessing, like, that was what this part was about, and I like that they did that. It gives a little bit more context about, like, how she ended up meeting up with Marlene, because as far as I know, she didn't know Marlene before that. And it was also, like, a nice way for them to let her know, like, hey, I'm the one who dropped you off with Fedra. I've known you for forever. And I'm like, that's cool, because now it gives them context. It gives her somebody, like, even though she's been taught all this time while she's in Fedra, but yet all that time, like, while she was with Fedra, she's probably being taught that the Fireflies are the enemy, blah, 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 blah. When really, it's kind of complicated. Like, yes, the Fireflies are at fault for a lot of things, but they're not the total end-all be-all, if you know what I mean. So Of course, she doesn't trust them. Of course, she doesn't want to be in their company. And so it's really cool that like now she has this connection, and now she has a reason to kind of trust them, at least trust her, Marlene of all people. So, and oh, to have my girl Marlene back, I love Marlene. She's another one. Her and Tess, I want games with her and Tess. Like I fucking love the both of them, and I love them even more in this show. Getting to spend more time with them in the show was awesome. How they switched it up, like how Marlene gets in contact with Joel and Tess in this is much different than how it is in the game, and I like the way they did that too. Like honestly, all the changes. I liked all the changes. I like because in a video game, you can give people but so much time in a game, and especially when it's a linear story based game, like you can do but so much before it becomes padding. So that's what I like about the show. Is the show gives you more time to breathe, gives you more time to add more scenes, to do more things, to do more story building, world building, all that stuff. So they did an excellent fucking job doing that with this show. And honestly, it was a nice way to wet the whistle. Like I'm really excited to see where this show goes, and I'm excited to see what more changes they do. I'm really, really hoping that because I know we're from the way this episode ended, I know where they're going with the next one, and I'm like, whew, I really hope that they extend certain parts so that I can get more time with Tess before she goes. I'm like, I know it's coming, but I really hope we get more time with Tess because I don't want to give her up yet. Same like anytime I replay the games, I'm like, I don't want to give Tess up yet. But if you know, then you know. So I mean, this is me mostly just rambling about it, but I did really enjoy the episode. I had a good time with it. I thought they did an excellent job already, and I cannot wait to see what the rest of the season is going to be like. But again, I'm mostly going to get through this season so I can get to the season that matters to me the most, which is season 2, which I'm hoping will be The Last of Us Part 2. That's the one I care about the most. That's the one I want to see. But until then, I would give this episode a solid 9.5 out of 10. Only reason why I won't give it a 10 out of 10 is because I want more Ellie. That's literally it. Give me more Ellie. And the more Ellie that it gets, the more it'll get a 10. That's literally it. That's all I need. But till the next episode, peace.